Paddle coverage gets underway at 2 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. Sky Sports Extra. Greg Brzezinski will be joining myself and Peter Fleming in the studio. Not bad at all from Tim Henman into his first Masters Series semi-final this year. Again, Peter, showing us the reasons why he believes he can have a great year next year. Very relaxed, very composed, and playing some exquisite ball.
Bales, you surprised me. You know a little bit about tennis for a TV presenter, don't you?
Why do you say that?
You got that one right. You're getting them right all over the place.
I know. And you picked, sorry, who did you went for who?
I got to say, you know what? I had forgotten how well Tim Henman can play tennis. It's been a little while, but that was an exceptional performance. Even better than last night's against Kierton, better than the night before that against Grosjean. Why? Why was it better? It just was.
Absolutely.
He played a better opponent. He had to hit a lot more shots, and his game was totally varied. I mean, he used every shot in his arsenal and used them well.
The first volley from Henman today, in particular in the opening set, was near perfection. Absolutely
right. Henman's first volley has always been about the best shot in his game. And he is probably, if not the best volleyer in the game today, certainly one of the best 2 or 3. And you could see Federer got returns down low, and still Henman parried them away, no problem.
What did you make to Federer's demeanour today? He was certainly more, I think, into the match than we've seen him this week. But once the first set had gone, he crumbled.
Yeah, well, he definitely, he looked as though his resistance was gone after that first set because he was so close. He had a set point. And okay, perhaps that's a sign that he's a bit tired or whatever, but I don't think Tim should pay any attention to that. You know, that's the way tennis is. There are a lot of reasons for guys not to play their best. And Tim Henman was certainly perhaps the biggest reason why Roger Federer did not play his best tonight.
Are you seeing some new dimensions this week, some new wrinkles in Henman's game that we haven't seen before?
Well, we have seen it occasionally from him. For instance, the topspin backhand. The topspin backhand has always been one of these shots that Henman hits very well in practice. Hits very well when there's no pressure on, but has not had a lot of confidence. But look at this. Half volley, topspin backhand cross-court winner. Now, if Henman can come up with this shot in big situations, as it was in the tiebreaker of the first set. And there you go. This topspin backhand return winner, I mean, he almost never hit over his backhand return in big situations before. One thing that Larry Stefanki probably helped encourage Tim to do was to hit over his backhand, and I think that that's a remnant of his days with Larry. The thing that I liked today was that Henman not only was hitting the topspin backhand, but he was also back hitting his first serve again, so that he was able to actually hit low volleys. He was able to hit most of the first volleys rather than just watching him go by after he's hit a little marshmallow serve. So when you combine the two, hitting over his backhand, hitting the first serve hard, then you've got an aggressive player who really can take his game to the likes of Roger Federer.
The set point that Federer missed and Henman won proved to be the set winner for Henman and, in hindsight, the match winner.
Yeah, no question. This is set point for Roger Federer in the first set. And you'll see that Federer gets this lob over Henman. He does a real good job of getting it to it. But right there, when it gets over Henman, you see Federer starting to come in, but hesitates, stays back. Watch this. Federer, as soon as the lob gets over Henman, well, you can't see it there, he starts to come in, and that indecision costs him, and you can see his reaction. He was not pleased, and not because he missed the shot, but because he missed the opportunity to take advantage of the ball getting over Henman's head. And he just lost his nerve because perhaps the indecision got to him, and that cost him the set.
The time that Henman spent away at the beginning of the year with his injury, with his shoulder surgery, 2 or 3 months, he said he started his year really in May. You could see, I think today in particular, in Henman's movement, that he hadn't wasted that time away from the court. He put in a lot of training as far as leg work and lunging, and that paid dividends today as well.
He's always been one of the better movers around the court, and that is still the case. He's an extremely fit athlete and sees the ball quickly, and his first step is as quick as anybody's. You can see when he gets to low balls, his hands are as good as anybody's, certainly around the net. His hands are exquisite.
Pete, disagree with me this if you feel like it, please. But
I wouldn't dream of it.
No, I know you wouldn't. No, you never do you? Henman, I think, at times has maybe modelled his game on Sampras and considers himself a little bit in the Sampras mould. But the way that Henman is playing this week, is it more in the Edberg mould, or am I heaping maybe too much praise on Tim Henman?
In the mold, yeah, I think that Henman's great strengths are his mobility and his ability to get to the net and use his wonderful hands at the net. And I think this week we are seeing him a little bit more often try to use his backhand so that he can stay in the middle of the court, and it makes the net a lot more accessible. Whereas often we would see Sampras back into the left-hand corner, and Tim tried to do that a lot. But from that corner, it's a long way to the net, and I think it's a real good direction for him to head in, to try and just keep cutting off the balls early and move forward.
I'm sure some people out there are thinking, what, we're going way over the top here about Tim Henman, and would look at the people that Henman has played today. Okay, end of the year, long season, you know, Kierton's been playing a lot, Federer's been playing a lot, and that's the reason why Henman is through to the semis of the last tour event of the year. Maybe
so, but who cares? Yeah. You know, if you're going to worry about that, then forget it. You're never going to be a good player. You know, it's all you can do is win, right? That all you can do is conquer the foe in front of you today. And Henman has done that the last 3 days and played very well on all 3 days.
And with the performances here this week, of course, you know, he may even go further, might even win his first Masters Series title here. He will be around about 22, 23 in the world next year, which will guarantee him a seeding in the first major of the year, which is what he wanted.
Yeah, that's small potatoes, though, in my mind, okay. Because the more important thing is the fact that he's playing good tennis. Because if he is playing good tennis, it doesn't matter what round you play.
He'll take the guys out whenever he meets them.
If you're going to win the tournament, you've got to beat everybody. It doesn't matter what order you beat them
Which he will do this week if he does.
Yeah, yeah. So, you know, seedings they're only important if you're not playing that well. If you have to need a couple of matches to get into the tournament before you're in top form.
Okay, we'll have both those semi-finals, by the way, for you from 2 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. Sky Sports Extra. Semi-finals of the Masters Series Paris exclusively live on Sky Sports. Greg Rosetsky, as I'm sure you're aware, will be joining myself and Peter Fleming here in the studio. Fascinated to see what Greg thinks about the resurgent form of Tim Henman. Okay, let's bring you up to date today with the first 2 quarterfinals. Andre Pavel was the first of the men through to the last 4 with a 3-set defeat of Rainer Schukler, the number 5 seed, 6-2 in the third. Pavel through to his first Masters semi-final since Montreal in 2001. He went on to win the title there.
Well, the luck was on my side, put it this way today. You know, I had a lot of lead calls for me going on, and he had a lot of close calls. Not calls, they were out, but, you know, he missed just by a little bit. So, you know, I hope that my luck keeps the whole week. You know, this week is going to be with me, like today. But, you know, if not, then I'm still in the semi-final right here.
And in the semi-final, he'll face Yuri Novak. Backed up his win yesterday over Juan Carlos Ferrero with a demolition of the Moroccan qualifier Hisham Arazi. Novak still with an outside chance of taking the substitutes place at the Masters Cup in Houston. Good performance from Novak today.
A little bit of pressure on me today, because, you know, I wanted, you know, to keep going after the great match how I played yesterday against Ferrero. So, but definitely my confidence was pretty high. I was playing also the very solid tennis from the baseline, and I'm very happy that I'm through the semi-final.
Pete, how do we see this matchup, Novak-Pavel?
That's a
tough
tough
to
one.
call, I think.
Yeah, very tough. I think Novak has to be the favorite simply because he has been playing well all year long. Pavel might be a little bit tired, but he really did play very well in the last 2 sets against Schuttler, and anything could happen, really.
Certainly pressure on Novak. As I mentioned, the Masters Cup, you know, the 9th place is available for him to travel to Houston as a substitute, but also, probably more importantly for him, is to finish the year in the top 10 for the 2nd consecutive year.
I think so. I think that would be a great accomplishment. People would sort of not be able to say that he was a flash in the pan. When you're top 10 a couple of years in a row, people start to think of you as a perennial top 10er, and that's a nice sort of title to hold.
Okay, Pete, thanks very much. Of course, Novak-Pavel, part of our coverage tomorrow from 2 o'clock on Sky Sports Extra. Both semi-finals exclusively live here on Sky Sports. Now, Tim Henman we've just seen go through to the semi-finals where he'll take on Andy Roddick, the new world #1. Roddick today earlier faced Jonas Bjorkman of Sweden. Roddick took the first set 7-5. We join it in the second set with Roddick serving at 3-4. Barry Cowan and Bill Threlfall, your commentators. For who?
I got to say, you know what? I had forgotten how well Tim Henman can play tennis. It's been a little while, but that was an exceptional performance. Even better than last night's against Kierton, better than the night before that against Grosjean. Why? Why was it better? It just was.
Absolutely.
He played a better opponent. He had to hit a lot more shots, and his games.
The reasons why, you know, he believes he can have a great year next year. Very relaxed, very composed, and playing some exquisite ball.
Bales, you surprised me. You know a little bit about tennis for a TV presenter, don't you?
Why do you say that?
You got that one right. You're getting them right all over the place.
I know. And you picked, sorry, who did you? You went for Pavel. Coverage gets underway at 2 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. Sky Sports Extra. Greg Rosecki will be joining myself and Peter Fleming in the studio. Not bad. Not bad at all from Tim Henman into his first Masters Series semi-final this year. Again, Peter, showing us...
Was totally varied. I mean, he used every shot in his arsenal and used them well.
The first volley from Henman today, in particular in the opening set, was near perfection.
Absolutely right. Henman's first volley has always been about the best shot in his game, and he is probably, if not the best volleyer in the game today, certainly one of the best 2 or 3. And you can see Federer got returns down low, and still Henman parried them away, no problem.
What did you make to Federer's demeanour today? He was certainly more, I think, into the match